creature baits are normally associated with fishing in the winter time, when you fish them a lot more slowly, whether it's using a drop shot or whether you use it like a Texas rig, really crawling them along the bottom when the fish are very dormant, not willing to chase. But that doesn't mean you can't use them in the spring or even sort of early summer periods. It just depends on how you want to use them and the situation and the day that you're sort of fishing in the venue. 3 of the creature baits that I normally have in my lure box all year round are the foxrage creature baits. So you've got the Mini Craws. They come in a fantastic range of colours and sizes. You've got the critters, which are a classic crayfish imitation, and you've got the floating creatures as well, the crayfish floating creature. And these are brilliant because you can rig them in so many different ways. I've got this Mini Craw rigged up on a chub head here, on an offset hook, and you can do that for all creature baits that we've got in the range. You can fish them on a drop shot, you can fish them just on a regular jig head and just hop those along the bottom. You can fish them a little bit faster if you wanted to, especially like the Mini Craw with its very sort of, with its curly appendages. When you see that going through the water, even at a faster retrieve, it creates so much commotion in the water, so much vibrations that those fish just can't resist. Especially now as the fish start waking up, they're naturally more tuned into chasing after creatures. Like I said, you've got the crayfish where they are present in a lot of waters. The perch absolutely hammer those. You've got all manner of water and aquatic insects now waking up in the springtime that fish happily feed on and gorge themselves, especially as we come into the period of now after spawning. A lot of perch have spawned in a lot of places, and now they're looking to refeed and gorge themselves on any creatures that swim past them. The other thing that you can do with the creature baits, we did touch upon that a few seasons back, is using the creature baits as trailers to the bladed jigs. Now these give the bladed jigs a different action to what a paddle tail does, and it just gives them something a bit different. Perhaps that, you know, the fish that you are after have seen a lot of paddle tails, they've even seen bladed jigs but in a certain type of action. But trust me, you put a creature bait on a bladed jig and the perch, pike, whatever you're after will absolutely smash these. You can tailor them in so many different ways. Like I've got this one here rigged up with one of our floating creatures. Now these are super buoyant, and what that does to the bladed jig is it gives it an even slower drop, where it normally just drops through the water quite fast with a paddle tail because it's streamlined. With the buoyancy of the floating creature crayfish and the claws and the big paddle, all that's going to do is slow that fall down, so you're getting much slower drop and more reaction time for the fish to hit that lure, and that just gives you a different option to what you had before. And that's what lure fishing is all about, always experimenting. But believe me, creature baits are not only lures that you can use on their own, fantastic on their own, but try them out with a trailer on a bladed jig and see what you can catch.